Hello, boys and girls. We are back at the American Civil War. It is, of course, the Saturday line battle for North and South. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are well and are enjoying your weekend as we are watching various people wander around the battlefield. So you can see, oh, look at that, Lesno in his uniform. God, doesn't he look wonderful? Look at that braiding on his arms as well. So there's Lesno from the Madison Artillery, I believe. We have Nitek, of course, in his flashy developer uniform, otherwise known as, you can see that cross on the top, that's generally regarded as a cannonball target, so shoot for the shiny thing. That's usually the way forward anyway. So we're looking obviously at the Confederate State troops, and there of course is Janik from the Dixieland, and you can see them all moving in. There we go, Arena from the 15th Alabama. There we go, look at them, all moving in. And there's corporal punishment at the back. Now, let's see. Over this one side, looks like we have the Confederate State Army Cavalry. There you go, from Orleans, Sergeant Luran. And let's see what we've got over here, also from Orleans. Or Orleans, obviously French in its initial setup, I believe. Before it was then obviously taken over and all the rest of it, so... Who are these fine fellows? Ah, the 5th Texans. Look at that. Colonel William looking splendid with his command sash as well. So there you go. The Texans now moving out. And we are moving to see what's going on. And let's see if we can get... There we go. There's Che from the Tennessees. And there's Bat Bacon Budge. I have to say that's pretty impressive. And of course from Connecticut, unborn rookie from the 9th. And there of course is Major Prower, I apologise. Complete with lovely bits and bobs, etc. Okay, so we got Colonel Miller in there as well from Connecticut. He's looking wonderful in his tartan braid. And let's see if we can lock in on some more members of the Union forces. Okay. This will, of course, in their distinctive uniforms, be the New York State Militia. As you can see, firing, very quickly onto the Texan Rangers. Cadet Almanac taking a bullet, so does Odin B and J.K. Hopper. They're using these very sturdy barricades, and you can see them being built, of course, by Dithon 1A from the Texan Rangers. So you can see them taking fire from the New York State Militia over here. Dithon gets taken down by Oliver. So these guys are doing a great job. They moved over into this little hamlet and are firing on the enemy. Looks like they've only taken 1 or 2 casualties. It looks like just 1 at the moment. So moving back and forth, there's Eowyn Coleman. And, of course, the drummer of note is Craig Lind from the New York State Militia. So these guys, obviously... Now, the thing to remember about the engine is that, oh dear, Adjutant Bacon, event runner, has just been shot in the head. So, a shout-out to the corpse that is Mr. Bacon. He has been well and truly cooked. And there, of course, is the commanding officer, Colonel Edward Fowler of the New York State Militia. Patrick Harper's trying hard not to get shot by his own people. That would be slightly unfortunate. So he's building extra defences and barricades for his troops. Now, looking at the engine here, you can see there's a big gap in this fence, but this is actually like an invisible wall. So you can't really fire through it. You have to actually fire over the top of it. So, unfortunate side effect of the engine. One of these things happens. Ah, the 6th Wisconsin. Looking very nice with blue braid in their hats. And there we go, Private Wes. And over on the side, Private Woody pouring fire onto the Confederate State Army. You've also got the 69th New York. There, of course, is Major Romanov. And Captain Fairass is in there as well. And you've got 2nd Lieutenant Cutter from the Irish Brigade. And, of course, also in there, Brigadier General Feldsau. So you can see here, plenty of tents. We do like the tents. And we're moving over to see what's going on, as I think we've got some Union troops here trying to outflank. Yeah, trying to... Ah, here we go. We could be talking about a charge coming in. Yep, there we go. A charge coming in from the Confederate state. Oh, dear. From the Confederate state... cavalry there. And the flag has been dragged away there. So you can see... let's have a look. Orleans Cavalier Dams 14. These guys are going to crash into each other. Who's that guy in the middle? That's Robert E. Lee from the 28th Massachusetts. He's running as quickly as he can. He's going to get sabred down. Oh, poor Robert. Unfortunately, he was not able to survive that onslaught of the cavalry. And you've got one guy who's trying to get his horse back. Not sure he got very far. I think he might have just got assassinated. But these things happen. As you can now see that the cavalry has now got off their horses. They have dismounted off their horses and are now engaging the New York State Militia in this hamlet. So, now the thing is, there are more Union troops around the area. Now here is the 7th Cavalry waiting for an opportunity. So you can see them pretty much at the edge of the map. They're waiting for the moment to charge. And you can see them. There we go. I think they're moving out here with their commanding officer even. So let's see who that is. There you go. There's Major General Lance of the 7th Cavalry, complete with hat and no fringe. And they are now moving out to make themselves useful. There's Pontefract. Goodness me, what a name. Ah, the 9th Connecticut in the trees, firing back under the command of Major Prower, firing back at enemy forces across the river with a pistol snipe. Very nice indeed. So let's see. Ah, yes. The 1TB. The Tennessee Brigade, I believe it was. Not the Tuberculosis or Total Biscuits. So you can see Bepkeng in there as well. So these guys are firing back across the river to the approaching Union forces. You've also got over here from the 15th Arkansas, Fazil, taking pot shots. Now the disadvantage obviously with that is that he doesn't have a bayonet on there if he runs into any problems. Oh, there we go. Captain Voodoo from the Arkansas with that nice pistol of his. Obviously not going to do a huge amount of damage at that kind of range, but it's certainly going to be interesting to see what's going on. Oh, goodness me. There we go. It looks like we've had a mass attack of artillery. What the hell? A mass attack of troops into the hamlet. The New York State Militia are now being forced on the defensive, as you can see. You've got a Paolo 41 here trying to defend himself against a couple of enemies. And you can see here one of the enemies has been taken down. He's having a little bit of a saber battle, going in with that long reach saber. However, the gun with the bayonet on the end has significantly more reach. Now, he's going to try and back up. Yeah, he's coming under pressure from all sorts of directions. And saber to the face from Recruit Hunter from the New York City. 6th New York City. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Nitek taking out 2nd Lieutenant Cutter. That was unfortunate. Oh, dear. So let's see if we can focus in. I do believe, yeah, this is the flutist par excellence. And we are looking to see what's going on. Who is this? There's, yeah, from Connecticut. Possibly from Connecticut? C.N. Potter? No, I'd say he's a cannoneer, sorry. So, let's have a look to see who W.A. is. It's probably Washington, I'm guessing. Yeah, most likely. So, let's see. There's Private James Farley from the New York State Militia. Complete with Christopher Mill, who just drank the wrong drink of water and just died mysteriously. And if we can see what's going on, let's go up high. There's Nitek going in there. And as you can see, pulled out his pistol and completely failed to kill the enemy. Oh no, Nitek's down. Nitek's down. He managed to block that stab in from the New Yorker. And it's coming onto a little bit of a stabby goodness. There he goes. He goes and tries to stab the horse. He's going in for a little bit of fight. There's Sergeant Russell from the New York State Militia. Nitek taking a saber slice. Can he defend himself in time? He goes in for a slice on the face. Oh, another stab into Nitek. This is a one-on-one between a developer and one of his community players. Now the question is, Nitek has decided to back up Sergeant Russell also. The question is, are they going to do a charge? Oh, look, he's talking. This is like watching a fight between teenagers. They're getting slowly further away from each other. Oh dear. Nitek obviously decided to run, but yeah, he's decided to back off. Both teams have, both parties have decided to cheese it in opposite directions. So you can see this fine fellow carrying the colours. I do believe are those Wisconsin colours? I can't tell from here. As the lines now form up from the Irish Brigade and move into support. So there you go, from the 6th Wisconsin. And you've also got Cavalry moving up. And a Nitek in the middle here. So, Developer Nitek saluting everybody and about to get murdered. So... yeah, so that was the end of Nitek. R.I.P. So we're looking now at the 15th Arkansas, flanked by Tennessee Brigade here. So you can see them in there. Let's have a look at the numbers. 19 versus 52. It's not looking good for them, I have to say. See if we can find any more Confederate states. There's Feldsau from the Irish Brigade. He's looking over the hill here. You can see what's going on. Could this be a little... yeah, this is from the last contingent, the last defense of the Confederate State Army. So that pipe seems to have been quite popular for the last 200 years. As we're moving over to... there you go. There's Sergeant Pepper from the Tennessee Brigade, obviously. Nice attempt at a long-distance shot there. Unfortunately, was unsuccessful. And this is pretty much it, really. Now, the trouble is, what they've got to watch for is people coming in from the right-hand side. Now, what they've got is they've got themselves spread out pretty well. The skirmishes are pretty well spread out. Means that they don't have to worry about any kind of line formation, at least for the time being. And we are watching... yeah, so you can see up here, more members of the 6th Wisconsin, led by Colonel Phillip, of course, looking very dapper in his moustache and little chin covery beard. And you've also got Recruit Hunter from the New York City 6th, and let's see. So we're looking at the 7th Cavalry at the moment. So you can see them making their way over. And the 7th Cavalry are now going to charge in on what remains of the Confederate State Army. 19 of them left remaining. And in come the 7th Cavalry. This is where it gets messy. Oh! Oh dear, one of the cavalry members got taken down very quickly. Torak gets taken down. Fire coming in from Captain Miha. He is doing his best to try and take down. There we go, another cavalryman is down. And he shoots him close range, and he still misses him. He still misses him, but then he gets taken down. Stefan gets taken down, so unfortunate there. The pistol, that just goes to show you how utterly inaccurate, utterly inaccurate that is. So there we go, Sergeant Pepper with a nice slice across the face of P. Jester. And yeah, it's looking interesting. They've still got 64 members of the Union Army remaining. Sorry, 47, I do apologise, 64 dead. So you can see this is the last stand of the Confederate Army. They're down to 12 players. I think it's fair to say this is probably the last of them. So you can see a few of them being surrounded. There must be somebody else out there as well. And more stabbing and firing and saber thrusts. And, oh, Chackle gets cut down by Kakashi there. And Private James Farley has just been murdered by one of his teammates. These things happen. And we're just waiting for the final act, so to speak. Who are these people over here? There we go. There's Captain Voodoo. Oh, lovely stab by Voodoo into Captain Turin from the 6th North New York City. Oh, dear. Going in for another one, possibly. We'll have to wait and see. So, looking at the remaining members of the Confederate State Army, this is them. So, you've got Musil, obviously, and you've got another fellow over here. Being pursued, I believe, by the 6th Wisconsin. Yep. So they're going in after the remaining members. Now, I'm only seeing 3. which means there is a sly member around somewhere. So there's obviously Edward Fowler with the New York State Militia. And moving out with Craig Lynn side by side. And you can see them now. Voodoo. Oh, this is going to get messy. They're inside the house. Are they going to charge inside the house and see what happens? Looks like they're loading up. 4 players remaining. Oh, nice block there. And they're going in. Is he going to get shot? Is he going to get shot? And oh, he gets hit by a bullet and then gets stabbed in the face. Another one goes down. Last 2 members. More stabbing going on from the 6th Wisconsin. Trying to take everybody down. There we go. Stabby goodness. Sword swinging left, right and centre. And Captain Voodoo finally gets taken down by the members of the Wisconsin Regiment. And we're looking at 1 left. So the question is, where is he? He's got to be around somewhere. Now, they suspect of him hiding in the Kazi. Let's have a look. No, there's nobody in the Kazi. So that would be kind of ironic to keep out of the entire battle by... it's Comrade Lenin. Comrade Lenin. Oh, dear. There we go. Comrade Lenin found by Blazer Aid. And we are on to the next round. We'll be right back. Round 2. We have returned, of course. Probably going to have 3 rounds on this particular map. And then another 2 rounds maybe on another map. We'll have to wait and see. But this seems to be quite a popular map. I mean, obviously, looking at the river here, people can ford the river going across this wooden collection here, this fallen tree system. But obviously, if you fall in, then it's going to be a problem. You could potentially lose your cartridges, and that's a whole world of pain. So, let's see. Nice little encampment, complete with, obviously, very well-armoured tents, as you can see. So, as these things stop all bullets, all munitions, maybe even cannonballs. Let's see. Aha. Blazer Aid, the advanced scout for the Irish Brigade. And, of course, the New York State Militia, the 14th, of course. Moving out. Let's see if we can get up high and find out what they decide to do. So you can see them all moving out of their spawn area, which is over in that corner. Cannons, obviously, don't look to really be in much of use at the moment. So you can see now, there we go. There's the Confederate State spawn, I believe. There's the other spawn. No, correction. Confederate State spawn is over in that corner, I do believe. Right in the centre of the screen. So, let's see what they decide to do. So you can see the 7th Cavalry moving out with the Union troopers. They are making a move over to the, what was initially the spawn of the Confederate State Army. Now, it's hard to say what's going to happen now, because obviously part of the problem is the fact that this is at the start of the round, and you never know what's going to happen depending on how these people are going to react, because this is a game of kind of, can you predict where the enemy is going to go? How can you react? How can you best what's the word I'm looking for? Improvise based on the behaviour of your opposing forces. And it was an old saying that no plan ever survives first contact with the enemy, and that's very true. Now, it looks like we've got a Confederate State Army section moving up this dirt road towards this hut, complete with the 7th Cavalry, I do believe, hiding behind it. Oh, yeah, there we go. So you've got these guys in here from the 6th New York City. And let's see what happens. There we go. It's about to kick off, boys and girls. So there's 2nd Lieutenant Cutter. And you've now got, oh dear, this looks like the 6th Wisconsin, I think this is. Is it? No, it's the 1st Massachusetts. Decided to go up to the top of the hill, saw loads of the enemy, and decided to cheese it in the opposite direction, which is sensible thinking. However, some of the Confederate State Army were going to move back, the Alabamans. but they have decided to, they have been bolstered by the support of their teammates on their left from the 15th Arkansas, and are now firing at the Union forces. We've also got the New York State Militia over on the right hand side with a mini section of line here. They formed up in a very nice line indeed, except for him obviously, and they are now firing back at the enemy on the hill. Now the only drawback is these guys are out in the open, so they don't really have a lot of defences. Now, let's see. Okay, yeah, there we go. So, the Confederate State Army section here is now moving away from the Union troops. They came under significant fire. They fired back as best they could. And now they are choosing to return back to the general area, across the river, maybe use the river to ford, or not ford, but use the river to defend. But this is going to get messy because the 7th Cavalry, they've missed their opportunity. Looks like the 7th Cavalry are going to try and dismount and may try and engage them as they cross the river. There we go. So the fire's going in as they are crossing the river. Harry gets taken down. Look at these poor sods. They're trying to cross the river as best they can. They're coming under massive fire here. And there are lots of bodies going to be all over the place as these guys trying to make their way across, you see. That was a smart move there by the 7th Cavalry, engaging them as they crossed the river. They were in significant problems and wouldn't be able to really stop and turn and fire back. They wanted to get across that river as quickly as possible. So they managed to snip a few numbers off there. And the 7th Cavalry is now horsebound again and making their way over. So let's see. Looking over to, of course, the New York State Militia and this fine collection of gentlemen from the 9th Connecticut. You can see them all there. Says Owen Coleman. Looking very walrus-like today. Very bear. And, of course, there is from the 28th Massachusetts, First Lieutenant John F. Reynolds. Now, let's see what's going on. Because I don't see the Confederate State Cavalry yet. Now, I think this could be them over here. What's left of them? I don't know. Oh, looks like a little bit of... Yep, here we go. So here we go from 1st Tennessee. There's Captain Che in there. And he's in as cavalry. I think he might be one of the few remaining. So 106 to 80. So they have a 20 advantage. Aha! The Confederate State Cavalry. Look at these fellows. Oh, there we go. Confederate State. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful flag? So here we go. These guys are all waiting from Orleans. And, oh dear, that's very unfortunate. As these guys are trying to defend the crossing of the river. Now, obviously, they've made it across the river. They've decided to hide out in the wooded area to sort of hide their numbers and try and provide a little bit of fire back across anybody who attempts to cross this river. So they are essentially trying to stop anybody fording that river. Their concern, I guess, is the 7th Cavalry or possibly the New York State Militia as they try and make their way across. However, it looks like members here of the Union forces are now moving out under the guise of the 7th Cavalry. Now, that to me looks like a cannonball explosion. Yes, it is. Or possibly a mortar. Mortar tends to give you a bit more of a circular cannon, or circular crater rather than actually the bounce, the sort of teardrop shape that you would normally get. So, let's see, because it looks to me like they're moving over quite significantly to the left-hand side of the map. So if we look at it over here, could it be that they're going to move down to that hamlet on the far left-hand side? We'll have to wait and see. You have members of the cavalry. You can see here. Oh, there's a Nitek. He's in there doing his thing, which usually means missing targets and getting killed. Poor Nitek. And let's see what's going on over here. Is this Union troops or is this Confederate State Army? Could they have snuck round to the spawn area of their enemy? Yes, I think they have. Look at this. The Texan Rangers. Oh, there's Second Lieutenant Cowboy, piano player of note from the previous episode. And they are attempting to engage Union forces at far distance. So you can see them. Let's see who their commander is. There's Colonel William from the Texans, and hiding behind a tree is Private Hapes. Oh no! Bit of bullet fire coming in. The line is starting to break a little bit. They're now coming under withering fire from the Union troops. These guys are having a few problems, but they've got an engineer putting up defences, so they're using this defensive area to try and stop any bullets that are coming in their direction. Whether or not they're actually going to be able to succeed at that, we'll have to wait and see. As, oh, there we go, 69th Volunteer Charlie capturing a bullet from one of the enemy. As it looks like the 69th are making a circular movement round the back to try and take out the Confederate State Army, which is caught in this little section here. So let's see what happens. There's still 77 players remaining, so still all to play for. Aha, look at this. You've now got the 7th Cavalry coming in on their right-hand side. They decide to back off. They realise they're caught from both directions. This is nearly really messy. Oh no, the Texan Rangers are really going to be made extinct here. This is not looking good for them. However, they are responding in kind with some lovely bayonet work. And they now come under fire and under attack from the cavalry. Oh no, this is so unfortunate for them. Timing was unfortunate for the Texan Rangers. But they are doing their best to defend against this attack from the 7th Cavalry. So you can see here, there's Ardelanax, a gentleman from Czechoslovakia, I believe, with that particular thing. For once, I actually got location right. So you've obviously got him in there as well. You've got P. Jester in there as well. So they are doing their best to try and take out these fellows. And you can see Sabre Thrust, who's left remaining. Now we zoom over to the New York State Militia, as they are now also moving in that general direction. Oh dear. Volume B just takes down, and Cowboy, piano player extraordinaire, has died. Poor Cowboy. The Hessian mercenary himself. So let's see. Actually, it's probably Hessian mercenary is probably more applicable to Napoleonic era and the era of the War for Independence rather than the Civil War. But never mind. We'll call him a Hessian mercenary because it's more in keeping with his tendency to speak German in chat. So anyway, Afjoris there from the Connecticut, from the 9th Connecticut, complete with what appears to be a very strange pipe. Clay pipe by the looks of it, and not particularly useful. I don't know how much tobacco that's going to hold. At least they're not fighting at night. That would be somewhat unfortunate. So there's Major Prower. Oh, doesn't he look dapper? He looks very Colonel Sanders today. And let's see, 54. Cannonballs. Cannonballs bouncing. So there's 7th Cavalry, Corporal The Whore. And of course, Cavalry Recruit Torak. They're getting themselves all set up. Looks like they're trying to shoot at some of the cavalry from the... Oh dear, this is the Confederate State Cavalry. They're taking down some of the members here. Oh no, Orleans taking down quite a few members of the New York State Militia. This is very unfortunate for them, as they are, oh dear, bouncing over the top of each other. There's C. Donahue just gets taken down by a saber slash. And we're watching another man over here. Here we go, Recruit Ad Mitchell. He is not looking good, and the New York State Militia has just got jumped by the Confederate State Cavalry, and they've done a wonderful job. Their timing was absolutely pitch perfect, and unfortunately the New York State Militia did have a hard time of it, as Eowyn Coleman, Walrus Face himself, doing a good job of defending himself against the enemy. And he is using that tree for a little bit of support and to cover his position, and seems to be running around in circles. Oh no, another member. John Wheeler gets barged to the floor by a horse. There's Chris Connors trying to take out members. Oh, he gets then taken out. And I think it's just one person remaining. Yeah, it is. This is Eowyn Coleman running round in circles. Oh no, correction. There's a guy in the middle. Oh, it's Edward Fowler. It is the commanding officer. Can he go clutch? Oh, he takes out another horse. Oh, and then dies to a saber slice from Sinjid from the Orleans Cavalry. So a great attempt there by the colonel. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff indeed. So, so let's see what's going on as the 7th Cavalry move away from the New York State Militia. As stated by Colonel Edward Fowler, it was a good ambush. A well-timed, well-planned ambush. As these appear to be the laggiest rocks in history. Let's see. Or not. We'll be back, guys. Figure out what the problem is. Hello, boys and girls. We're back. Yes, experienced some technical problems. But we are in a situation to better cover it now. Okay, so you can see here Confederate State Army making their way up, taking a little bit of fire from the enemy, who are over here. So let's see who those fellows are. Looks like it could be the 7th Dismounted Cavalry. So you can see there a few of the New Yorkers getting taken out. There you go, Volunteer Philip. Moving away, the 7th Cavalry also moving away. Creating a rather significant dust cloud. And that seems to be a rather bright white building. Not sure if it's a issue with... Oh no, it's supposed to be like that. Wow, interesting building. I'm not sure what this bit underneath is to do, but anyway. Okay. Here we have Feldseil from the Irish Brigade with his fellows from the 69th New York. There, of course, is Major Romanov. He of Russian descent. And in keeping with the Tsars, has just died. So Colonel George will have to take over. Here is, of course, the New York State Militia. There's John Oliver, 2nd Lieutenant. Or 2nd Lieutenant, I should say. And you've also got, I think, the 7th Cavalry coming up to support. Yeah, there we go. So the 7th Cavalry moving past the New York State Militia. As these guys are making their way past here. And you can see a little small section of them hiding in this lovely field of wheat stroke corn stroke insert crop of choice. Sorry, I just had a brain fart. Couldn't think of what the word was. Anyway, so the New York State Militia are currently hiding their numbers. You've got a section over here, and you've also got a section in the woods at one with nature. And you've got these guys over here taking cover in a dip in the ground. Aaron Jacobs shooting back at the enemy, which no doubt is over here. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, it looks like these guys over here. Confederate State fellows from the 15th Alabama. So these guys are also moving out under General Janik. And you've obviously got Captain Genie from Louisiana. And the gold-braided Nitek. So let's see what happens. Sorry, mouse is a little bit not very smooth today. I do apologise. I'll get that cleaned. Bit of mouse smeg on there. Not good. Now, if we look at this, this is going to be interesting. This is an ambush being set up by the New York State Militia. They're waiting for an opportunity. As long as they don't have any flags, yet they're all staying kneeling. So when these guys come across the bridge, they'll move up to that area and engage them. So we'll have to wait and see if that attempt at an ambush is successful. Now, can they see them from here? It's questionable. Wow, long distance shot there into Janik. So he's taking cover. He doesn't know where the bullet came from. So he's got to be careful. Now, this could be interesting. Two cavalry coming across the bridge. The 7th Cavalry coming from the opposite direction. And fire coming in. There we go. The ambush has been sprung. And they're trying to support their teammates over on the left-hand side under attack. Anyway, in comes the cavalry as well. Bit of saber swiping going on. The 7th Cavalry is now after them. And the question is what's going to happen as the sabers taking out quite a few members of the 14th New York State Militia, as these members from Alabama make their way over to try and deal with the enemy, firing into the wheatfield, cornfield, crop of choice area. And they're going to be charging in and going toe-to-toe with the enemy. Now, let's see. Looks like some of these guys have decided to try and back off, get to a place where it's easier to fight when you're not in a damn cornfield. And you can see over here the 7th Cavalry doing a good job of taking out pretty much everyone. So, looking wonderful. So, let's see. Oh, dear. Oh, no! Private Will Satchel has just assassinated his commanding officer while inside the cornfield. If ever you wanted an indication that it's hard to fight in the cornfield, that is it. So, hey-ho, these things happen. As you've got more members, there's Necro in there as well. And there's Alex Campbell. Look, you can see them. Oh, nice block, sir. Oh, another block there as well. Lovely block indeed. Good stuff. Fighting in the cornfield, not conducive to healthy meleeing. That's for damn sure. Now, Finn HQ decides to disappear. Get out of there as best he can. Slides back in and nearly gets a bayonet in the face for his trouble. And he gets kicked and bayoneting. And he's doing a great job of blocking. Really, really good job here, Finn HQ. He tries to duck down and do a little quick understab under the... But as you can see, it didn't really do him a lot of good. But never mind. So let's look at these forces from the Tennessee Brigade. And you can see they are trying to engage Union troops on the far side of this little stone bridge. So you can see them here. Let's have a look. Of course, yeah, there's Private Roberts from the 6th Wisconsin. And a little bit of discipline going on there from Robert E. Lee on that young lady. Yes, that's not approved of. So, go on. I wonder if Robert Lee's going to take this rather sturdy and ship-shaped craft across the river. We shall have to see. So, let's have a look at numbers. 58 versus 39. So, numbers are a little bit more even with respect to versus the Confederate States and the Union. It could be a significant amount. Let's see, 20, 21, something like that. But all it needs is a sudden change of fortune and for these guys to get ambushed. And it could go very unfortunate. So, let's see. We're moving over and looking at what remains of the New York State Militia, being led by 2nd Lieutenant John Oliver. His commanding officer, unfortunately, received a stab to the testicles from one of his own teammates. So he is currently lying, bleeding, and holding his nuts in the cornfield. And we are moving on and watching to see what they are going to do. Now, I wonder... Aha! There is members of the Confederate State Army over by this retaining wall here. And we shall see what's going on. Ah! Flutage. It's Cowboy, musician extraordinaire. Let's enjoy the music. And who's that? That's Colonel William from the 5th Texans. So there you go, the Texan Rangers in there. And there's 2nd Lieutenant Cabot. Kind of hate to talk over the music. Creates atmosphere. Oh, Brigadier General. No, sorry. 2nd Lieutenant Cutter's just caught a bullet from the Tennessee Brigade. Look over there in the centre of the screen. That is the 7th Cavalry. You've got a section of guys going into the building there, along with defences made by Cadet Almanac. So, a definite shout out to Cowboy and his musical prowess. Just hope he doesn't get shot. So that's what they're looking at. That's the target that they have to aim for. It's not very big, as you can see. And obviously the smoke is not going to make it any easier. As you've got members of the cavalry moving back in. So there you go, Brigadier General Sergeant Pepper. Let's hope he doesn't catch a bullet. And oh dear. Looks like the 7th Cavalry have now attacked into what remains of this collection. Yeah, a few members over there dead. Luberkill, unfortunately, getting snuffed out. As we are now watching P. Jester there. Getting the guys to all follow him. As they are now following Major General Lance. As you can see. Making his way over. Now, you can see the smoke puffs over there. Oh dear, one of the cavalrymen just got sniped out of the off his horse by Marks B from the Texan Rangers. Oh no, Robert E. Lee has just been stabbed. And you've got some members of the cavalry. There's Captain Che from Tennessee. Possibly Texans. I'd say TN is Tennessee. But anyway, we'll see. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear. Look at this. Look at this. This is not good. These guys are blocked in. All going in. This is messy. Let's look. Is there any windows? Oh dear. Volunteer Harry. Oh no. Oh, and the last man standing is cut down. So there we go. Oh. How the hell did that happen? So poor old Che came charging in and unfortunately did not survive. As the 7th Cavalry are now engaging the Confederate State Army forces who have decided to retreat from the New York State Militia who were shooting at them. But unfortunately these guys, the likes of Arden Lax and Ensign Neh, are going to come under significant fire. There's Major General Lance defending, and the curse of the commentator and the observer's curse comes to the fray yet again. Oh, that was a bit harsh, actually. Car shouting and shooting somebody, literally, poor Dubstar there, right in the chest from probably less than 5 feet away, as the New York State Militia now move in to support their teammates. And let's see what happens to the remaining members. Aha, who's this? Colonel William looking to defend himself. Gets out his binoculars. He's going to binoc him to death. Turns. Oh, stunning shot, sir. Lovely stab indeed. And he gets executed very quickly by the New York State Militia. And everyone starts rubber banding. Last time this happened, we did unfortunately have a server crash. So we'll have to see what's going on, as we're having a few performance problems with the server at the moment. Think, based on what's going on, yeah, not looking good. A lot of people just lost connection. You can see John Oliver there trying to recover his troops as quickly as possible, but there's the 7th Cavalry, of course. It's the reason why the Union win. They have a special weapon called lag. Okay, these things happen. We'll have to wait and see how they decide to do it. It would be a bit unfortunate if this game had to be finished with because of server problems, but you know, that's always the thing that's going to happen with any kind of system. Any kind of system involving computers. You're always going to have that problem, plus obviously the issue that we are playing Mount&Blade with a DLC on top of that and then a mod on top of that. And as you guys well know, the servers do not handle Napoleonic Wars very well. The intense pressure on the CPUs just causes problems. So Unfortunately, I think this is going to be the last round, as stated by Monsieur Bacon, because of the server issues, I'm guessing. Because it's no fun for everybody when you can't enjoy your game. Feldzau takes a bayonet. So poor old Feldzau has just been murdered out in the field. And we're watching the New York State Militia, along with their friends from 69th New York, making their way over. And we have 34 versus 4. Oh! Go all officers for the fun round. This could be interesting. So let's say nation option. We'll go Confederate States. And let's see. Let's see. Surely not all of them are on horses. Aha, what's this? Command staff. No, that's not right. See, this is the problem, because I can't really do anything here. Oh well. Anyway. A dead clippity-clop there, unfortunately. Sorry, clippity-clop. And we shall move over. Let's see, just out of interest, how is my ping? I'm not even showing up on the observer list. That's how bad it is at the moment. So you can see here, I might go in as a musician actually, that would be good. There we go. So, nation. Confederate States. Infantry. Virginia Infantry. Oh, no, actually, specialists. Confederate Music Corps. Well, I'm in to do my fluting thing. I think everyone's after me. No! Get away from me with the axe. Just trying to flute it. Wonder how long I'm going to get across the bridge. Get off me, you bugger. Ah, damn it. I'm just trying to flute, damn it. That's not fair. Oh, dear. I'm just trying to do me fluting. That's just mean. Flag Major Hollow from the 15th Arkansas, evil man that he is, axed me to death. Never mind. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.